All right, everyone. So we got another video here from Seth the Programmer, and this one, I gotta be honest. I never thought about putting these two in a versus battle, Rock Lee and Shikamaru, or more specifically, I guess Rock Lee with the Byakugan versus Shikamaru with the Sharingan. It's just, again, it's something that I honestly never even thought of. I mean, I can understand putting Rock Lee against Neji since they had that whole rivalry going on. Rock Lee against Sasuke, Rock Lee against Naruto, Rock Lee against Gaara. I never thought about putting Rock Lee against Shikamaru. You know what? This should be really interesting. Now, I did think that I already reacted to this because this video was brought up in a previous video that I was reacting to, and I thought that I had already reacted to it, but someone in the comments said that they checked my channel and I never reacted to it. So here I am, and we're going to be watching it because this should be interesting. Before we get into the video, guys, as always, remember to check the description for links to this video as well as Seth the Programmer's channel. Make sure you head on over there, subscribe, and go show him some support. And make sure to leave a comment with your thoughts and any videos you would like me to react to. Just let me know about them there. And remember to leave a like, share, subscribe. You know what to do. All the things that the YouTube algorithm just really, really loves. So let's go ahead and watch this.
Just turn it on.
Yeah, I'm
Tell me
doing
when it's on.
All right. Yeah, I'm recording now, dude.
Okay. So
Yeah, like just people, man. But people really wanted this pin.
so
Stupid shit.
okay. So for the video, I guess we can say for part one, Rock Lee does he still have like his gates with Byakugan active? Like I'm assuming that's like
Yeah.
Does he like know like trigrams though? Like
Yeah, like
like what?
like here. So here, like what? Like okay. Oh, does is
Oh,
this
Jesus,
like they
dude.
were born with them, or they just
Right.
got like surgery? And
yeah,
had
like
them,
Neji died and he fucking ripped his eye out or something. Like what?
Well, cause like
Oh,
in that case, like
He's got the gentle fist.
well, he doesn't have a gentle fist if they got like transplanted, but he has an even bigger advantage, which is that Shikamaru has to wear a blindfold the whole time, or else he'll just die from like chakra exhaustion.
true.
Like
Right. Shikamaru doesn't have the Uchiha body.
Yeah, he can't just shut it
if he's
off,
not
which is
born with them, then
weird.
It'll be
just
like
collapses.
Kakashi. Yeah, it'll be like Kakashi. Dude, and not only that, but kid Shikamaru is as well, because like
Yeah, like it was like a full-grown adult Kakashi, bro. Like took it out once for like 5 minutes and was like hospitalized
dude,
for like a week.
after using it like his whole life, and he was like Jonin level, like at 6 years old or something. Like
I think it was like 10 or 12 or something.
Shikamaru uses shadow possession. He's like, I'm running low on chakra. I can't hold her for a minute. You know, and then like Kakashi can barely do the same thing. Like, okay, so I think we agree that like just in part one, like it's just not like enough.
Yeah. Well, like look, if you want to like extend the video a little bit more, you know, so we hit the 10 to 15 minute mark.
Yeah.
We could also talk about.
Well, they went for 25 minutes, so.
Well. Okay. What if they were born with them instead? And
Right.
that's a pretty complicated. Yeah, that's a pretty complicated question. Like that is.
No.
Now they're brand new characters.
Yeah,
That's
and
true,
like,
'cause then
like,
they-
he has dual like 3 Tomoe
Yeah. Like,
Shikamaru, because like you then have to talk about is the third like is 3 Tomoe like inherently like a certain level in in itself, like do you have to
like
be a
in
certain
base.
level?
Yeah.
So
Well, it is interesting because
at the end like Sasuke level
no, I don't think he would be, because
about that, which
And
you gotta remember, like Sasuke was a bit unique. Like he wasn't the same as other Uchiha clan members, because I think it stated that him and Itachi were like prodigies among prodigies. You know what I mean? Like they stood out from the other Uchiha clan members. So I don't know if he would be like Valley of the End Sasuke level. I don't think that would be the case. I think he would be stronger because he would be, you know, a member of the Uchiha clan. but I don't think he'd be like Valley of the End Sasuke level. I think that's I don't know if I could say that.
If he is, then it might be a debate. But then it's
But then it's like it's not even Shikamaru anymore, right? Like, do you still even have shadow possession? Like, what?
It's basically Valley of the End, like Sasuke with shadow possession jutsu.
Although,
What?
if you think about it, Shikamaru with the Sharingan with shadow possession would kind of make him like a pretty dangerous opponent, because Shikamaru is already like, you know, big brain Einstein level IQ, or maybe even higher, we don't know. And if he had the Sharingan to go with it, it would be like he would be a pretty tough opponent to deal with. Although again, if we're talking about the same Shikamaru with the same chakra level, then he wouldn't be able to use it all that much, because the Sharingan does use up a lot of chakra. So it does. He would also still have some disadvantages.
Then you give Lee 8 gates, 8 trigrams, and then it's like, well,
That is pretty brutal. So,
and the thing is, if Lee can use the Byakugan, he can use ninjutsu, because dojutsu are ninjutsu.
Right.
So Lee can use other jutsu potentially.
Yeah, the whole thing with Lee is that he couldn't use ninjutsu at all.
Yeah, predominantly.
He had no affinity for ninjutsu whatsoever.
and they both can use ninjutsu, but they just still like what Guy.
I think the Hyuga are just assholes. Like, I think they just don't let you learn anything else, because like the data books like say Neji had like 3 natures that he like knew, but he never used any of those jutsu.
Guy had ninjutsu as well. He just spammed his summoning.
Yeah, he could
It's
use
weird
well.
because, like, I guess he was just really bad at it, because the flashback talks about like.
Well, summonings, I think it was established in a previous video that summonings are a bit different, because all you gotta do is make the contract, and then you can just, you know, place your hand on the ground or whatever surface that you're on, and then boom, creature appears. All you need is the chakra. You don't necessarily need like nature transformation.
He can't or something. But like, yeah, then you see him summon the turtle, so it's like,
That's ninjutsu, bro. Like it.
yeah, like.
So, I guess if I was to be edgy scalar man, I'd say like Lee kind of capped off at the Chunin exams, and then he has to get drunk versus Kimimaru. So that's not.
That was also base.
Yeah. So that's a little bit unquantifiable. The drunk amp. We know that's a huge amp. So.
Yeah, because he'd be
Sasuke.
like it was stated that he became a master of a completely different kind of fighting style. So
I hate saying this on video. So if Sasuke using the data book was like rivaling Lee when his fight with Garo,
Yes.
and then you just give like Sasuke that level of Sasuke with a Byakugan, would he beat Valley of the End Sasuke? Probably not.
Correct.
Yeah, probably not.
I
Like,
agree.
yeah. So, because even base Naruto like reached that level by the hospital fight,
Yes.
and then
Yeah, he was punching Gar's sand armor off, like.
and put him on his hands and knees. He's huffing and puffing like very casually.
Yeah.
Or Lee never did that. And then that's a whole debate, by the way. Comments, don't get too triggered about it. So, and then Sasuke gets so strong he can like fight that same Naruto with like a QB chakra that can make him so strong he like blitzes himself and like one shots himself.
Yeah.
And he gets the third Tomoe.
The
like-
the most charitable you can beat a Lee as like Kimimaru was really mean to Naruto. Like he was not like he wasn't taking Naruto seriously at all. Then like Lee showed up and Kimimaru was like, I suppose you're pretty strong, kind of respectable.
So,
And this
And-
is QB Naruto.
yeah, QB Naruto, because Naruto was clearly using the QB's chakra, and he created like, what was it, like 100 or 300 different clones, and Kimimaru was like, all right, whatever, I'll take you on.
So you could be like, well, okay, so maybe this means Lee has a chance.
well, if
Issue
he's
is,
drunk.
Yeah, he was
issue is,
drunk.
First of all, drunk. Fuck, I need to not be eating. Whatever, fuck it, I don't care. No, it's good. These good fucking. They're actually not even Cheetos.
Yo, these off-brand Cheetos hitting.
Yeah, these are some off-brand. The other issue with that is, like, so Sasuke was still stronger than the Naruto that Lee was compared to, and like by a lot, like big time.
Definitely.
Like that fight was a stomp. So
he was bullying.
If you say
without the
3T.
Without the QB Chakra amp, like Naruto stood no chance against Sasuke, absolutely. And even when he got a little bit of a QB Chakra amp, the second Sasuke got the 3-Tomo Sharingan, it was pretty clear that Sasuke had that fight won. And if Kurama never got involved and gave Naruto like the whole one-tail cloak thing, then Sasuke would have immediately won that fight. And then, of course, Sasuke had to go curse mark stage 2, and then it was pretty much over.
Shikamaru.
Like, he blocked, and it's before where he said it himself, like, all I can do is dodge against this. I can't really attack him. And then it immediately goes curse mark stage 2 and is able to immediately block an attack from Naruto. Not only block it, but push him away with enough force to render one of his arms completely useless. And that's with the Nine Tails' healing. Remember, even with his healing, Naruto still said, I can't move my left arm. Like, that's how strong he was in Curse Mark Stage 2. And that's when he was still a kid and didn't have much experience with it. So you can imagine how strong he was at Shippuden when he had like 3 years of experience.
Is 3 Tomoe Sasuke level, then sure, I guess.
Then it's a win, but it's still like such like a leap in logic. Like, we're just assuming that he's the same level for some reason, because what is it, like Sarada and Boruto, would she beat up Sasuke with 3 Tomoes like now? Like, I don't know, probably there's probably some bullshit scaling makes her like OP.
Well, there's like statements of like I'm pretty sure, like, I think it was Kagami was like implied to be like one of the strongest Uchiha, even without a Mangekyo. He was just 3 Tomoe.
Well, that's the thing, we don't know.
The guy who has a 3 Tomoe as a baseline.
And I meant Sarada before she got 3 Tomoe. I'm actually not 100% sure if she has it now, but I think she was like in the novel she like awakened more. But
well, I mean, when was this video released? Hold on, when was this video put out? This was put out 2020. Okay, so yeah, she would have had the 3 Tomoe at that point. Well, she did in the manga, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, she had it in the manga. I think at that point she would have had it. That was because in the manga it was first revealed during the Boro fight. I can't remember exactly which chapter. I think it was somewhere around chapter like 38, 39. So one of those chapters from like 37, because I know 37, 38 was the Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen fight, and then immediately after that they went into the Team 7 versus Boro. So maybe like chapter 40 or like 38, 39 or 40, maybe one of those three, I'm guessing. And yeah, so that's when she debuted like the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. In the anime, for some reason they didn't include that. I guess they're gonna do something else. They're gonna give like Sarada another bit of motivation to awaken the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Maybe she's gonna train with Sasuke or something, I don't know. But yeah, so that's that whole thing.
Even before that, she was like actually really strong. So I don't know. I don't think it's actually indicative. But yeah, nope. I'd say we'd give it to Shikamaru if he's actually Shikamaru Uchiha and he's just as strong as Valley of the End because of the Tomoe bullshit. And then
well, but actually another thing. We could probably take that away from Shikamaru, because wasn't all of that owed to the curse mark making Sasuke stronger in base? Like, he had to like kill himself and then sit in a cup for like a day.
Yeah, just sit in a box
to get that strong. It wasn't just the Sharingan.
I guess we could say he got stronger because of that, but the Sharingan did actually amp him significantly.
He was still losing to Naruto before.
But yeah, no, we can just say that like he clearly did get an amp because Hospital Sasuke was fighting with his Sharingans out, and then here's just base Sasuke just dicking on him. So clearly an amp. So even then, it's hard to give it to Shikamaru, man. Like, massive stamina. and then just
I'm not gonna lie, but I can't remember if this was anime only. But Naruto doing this,
dicking on him.
Yeah.
Naruto doing this. I always wondered why that's the case because like you do know that Sasuke invented the technique that you're copying from. So why would you assume that he wouldn't have a counter for it? Like he knows what's coming next. I don't know. I always thought that was weird. And then they brought it back at the their last fight at the end of Shippuden, or near the end of Shippuden, because there was a bunch of filler after that.
Clearly an amp. So even then, it's hard to give it to Shikamaru, man. Like massive stamina issue, and then just bullshit scaling for him, whereas like Lee is just more concrete. So
Yeah.
I don't know, I'll let you guys decide on that one, but that's I think that's all the thoughts on that. So what about Shippuden? What are we doing for Shippuden? We putting a Mangekyo on him? Like we giving Lee the 10 Saigon?
Like here's the thing, right? I think this can condense like the whole fucking battle down into what I'm about to say. There are so many stupid variables that you just can't account for in this hypothetical. Like, does Shikamaru have Mangekyo? Like the stuff we talked about earlier. Did they just get them? Like, were they like implants, or was it like a genie situation? Like,
oh jeez, did they have to? You couldn't have gone with the Robin Williams genie.
Dragon Balls?
Yeah, like Dragon Balls. He asked for Sharingan, and then it's like, well,
Oh.
okay, so if Shikamaru does have Mangekyo, like, what is his like ability? And like, there's different like Susanoos too, like. You know, so like you got, and like there's different like levels of like Susanoo power, because like you got like, you know, Sasuke's Susanoo cage is getting, you know, busted up by you know, he's cracking through it, but then you've got like Madara, just like casually like uses it to block a fucking Sage Naruto Odama Rasengan, and it's not like affected. So like where would Shikamaru like fall on?
So I'll answer.
Yeah, because it depends on their their level of power. So obviously Madara Susanoo would be stronger than Sasuke, because at that point Sasuke only just got the Mangekyo and he only just started using the Susanoo, so he hasn't perfected it yet. So it's like, yeah, not all Susanoo are the same. So it's like they brought up Madara Susanoo being able to block a Super Rasengan, like a Sage mode enhanced Rasengan from Naruto, and he was able to block it no problem. But I'm willing to bet if Sasuke took that, it wouldn't have ended the same way. Like, yeah, Sasuke would have had to dodge.
We'll answer this first. In that thumbnail, part 1, Rock Lee with Byakugan versus part 2, Shikamaru with Sharingan 3 Tomoe. Shikamaru just stomps. Like,
yeah,
he can fight. He can hold off like Hidan kind of. He does well in the war arc. Even as an adult, especially, you can see his scaling like really like he can hold off like all of the Kage like single-handedly. Like he actually does like end up scaling a lot as he gets older. So no, I think we agree that part 2 absolutely stomps part 1 Rock Lee using that thumbnail. But yeah, using part 2, I mean, what Rock Lee he helps Guy fight like 6 Paz Madara. He kicks Madara in half with like a QB amp or something.
Man, they did it. They brought out Madara.
So, what does Shikamaru really do? Not really much.
Nothing.
Other than that, like other than fighting Hidan, but with the Byakugan, would that change anything? I feel like I feel like
the Byakugan is like it's kind of bullshit. Like it's a non-amp.
I feel like the Sharingan.
Yeah, the Byakugan I don't think actually gives you
better scaling.
Like, it doesn't amp up your power like the Sharingan or let's say the Rinnegan. The Tenseigan maybe, but you kind of have to be an Otsutsuki to be able to use that. So that's kind of out of the question. I mean, unless you know, they brought up the genie situation. Unless you're telling me that they use it to make themselves like you know, Otsutsuki on a genetic level, I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, so it is interesting that you know, at one point Kishimoto like tried to say that the Byakugan was actually better than the Sharingan because, you know, it helps you see even better. But Yeah, that pretty much changed later on. Although it seems like he's trying to sort of bring it back with what's going on in Boruto and focusing on the Otsutsuki. And it seems like the Otsutsuki, their main dojutsu is the Byakugan. You know, every Otsutsuki member we've met had the Byakugan. Well, except for Toneri, because he was part of the whole thing where they like removed their eyes and put it into the Tenseigan or whatever the hell. It's dumb. So yeah, it is interesting. So although, like, if you look at Momoshiki's Byakugan, it seems like his Byakugan allows him to actually see into people's futures. Like that's how insane his sight is. It allows him to actually see people's fates or the future. And then Ishiki also displayed sort of the same ability where he, you know, when he was first revealed and he was talking to Kashin Koji and he said that, you know, every person is born with a certain fate. They're connected to a certain star or something like that. And like your fate is tied to the person you were cloned from. Jiraiya, he's someone who was always meant to die in service of like a bigger purpose or something like that. And then of course that didn't happen because Kashin Koji escaped. And it seemed like, because some people I've heard say that the whole thing about Boruto is that you're supposed to like break away from your fate. Like you don't just you know, follow it. And that was like the first example we've seen of that, where you know, Kashin Koji, of course, being a clone of Jiraiya, like he said, Jiraiya being someone who was always fated to die in service of a bigger purpose. Kashin Koji broke that by surviving, not dying. So I don't know if that's like a theme that's going to be played in the or a theme that's going to be sort of reoccurring in the Boruto series. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, just went off on a little tangent about the Byakugan. The second got brought up, but yeah, the Byakugan for some reason doesn't amp you up. Like it gives you advantages, of course. Like it allows you to see people's chakra network, and I guess if you're an Otsutsuki, it gives you like more advantages, but they're not. So that's pretty much off the table.
Yeah, like if you think about it like logarithmically, like in relative terms, right? Like if Naruto got a Byakugan, like in Boruto, like he would literally like not feel it. Like he
like it would probably be less than Sage mode, you know? Like
yeah,
just base Sage mode.
It would be nothing. It wouldn't.
So, but like if you gave like Academy Naruto that Byakugan, okay, you know maybe
Okay,
talking.
Change
So
it up.
now that we're this late, it's kind of one of those things where it's basically you guys don't give Lee anything, I guess. You know, it's just basically could Lee beat Shikamaru with a Sharingan? And again the question is, well, it depends.
Does Shikamaru have the stamina? Does he have a Mangekyo Sharingan?
Yeah.
What is he? What is the criteria?
Jesus.
Let's probably do. I was about to say, let's probably just be not assholes and just assume that the terms are what everybody was thinking. But I actually don't know what
don't know
the
either.
implied assumed terms.
I don't know
are.
either. I just saw some dumb Twitter fucking post. And I was like, all right.
If it's like Lee, Shikamaru has Sharingan, doesn't have to worry about any of the drawbacks. Lee has Byakugan, doesn't really have to worry about any of the drawbacks. In Shippuden, well, based on the Madara feat, Lee probably kick Shikamaru in half, right? If it's just 3 Tomoe.
Even if he was helping with like 6-Pass Madara, like in all the even if he was like helping with the Kage level fighters with 6-Pass Madara and he was relevant, like even then, like that's really good scaling. So
Yeah.
like
So
even if he's not,
like
Well,
he threw the kunai. Yeah, you're
like
right.
he's not
so.
okay. He's not 6-Pass Madara or 8 Gates Guy level, but
No, I don't think he
he's
is.
considered relevant enough next to those like Kage level fighters that were also helping to like assist.
Yeah, like Kamui spam Kakashi and Minato,
And
right? Like
Gaara.
Lee was like a I got Gaara there too.
And
so,
Lee was considered relevant, so that's still good scaling. It's probably better than.
Okay, I don't know what
Shikamaru,
song
like,
this is in the background, but
he like tricks a guy, and
okay, I know this is a GIF, but it's from the anime, so I don't know.
blows him up with like 100 billion paper bombs. Okay, actually, I forgot that might not sound like hyperbole because that sort of number actually has shown up before.
Yes.
There were a couple billion paper bombs. So I was. It was obviously a lot less than that.
So if
I gotta pause every now and then because
He had a lot of prep.
If Shikamaru has the Susanoo, then some people think that in the data book that if you have the Susanoo, you inherently have other abilities like Tsukuyomi, which I don't know if you agree with that.
I don't think that's true. No.
So I don't know if he has a Tsukuyomi or massive.
Well, based on what we know,
massive genjutsu.
Nobody's ever developed the Susanoo without their other abilities.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So that's what they meant. I thought that you develop the Susanoo, you get the Tsukuyomi. It's like, okay, well, actually, that's not correct. Only Itachi had the Tsukuyomi. But okay, if they mean that when you develop the Susanoo, you get your like Mangekyo ability, which is because it seems like every person who awakens the Mangekyo gets like a unique ability. But yeah,
it'd be weird if Madara still couldn't use like Mangekyo powers. I think he just didn't. I think that's what everybody agrees.
He still used Tsukuyomi through the.
Although I did always wonder why, like Madara, because if we assume that Limbo is like his Mangekyo ability, or maybe it's not. I don't know. Like, because it's weird. Because Madara, like it isn't clear whether his Limbo ability is tied to his Rinnegan or if it's tied to his Mangekyo. I don't think it has to be tied to his Rinnegan, because remember, Madara isn't like Sasuke where he can use the Rinnegan and Mangekyo abilities at the same time. Like, he doesn't need to switch off his Rinnegan back to the Mangekyo, because Madara had to do that. To put A under Genjutsu, he had to switch his Rinnegan back to his Mangekyo, and then he presumably switched it back. So his Limbo has to be tied to his Rinnegan, because if that's the case, then what is his Mangekyo ability? Like it never really gets revealed to us what his unique Mangekyo ability is. Like with Sasuke, his Mangekyo ability is flame control. Like, he has the Amaterasu and he can control them. He can shape them. And when he got the Rinnegan from Hagoromo, he could use Amenete Jikara, which, you know, the ability that he uses to switch places with people. And yeah, it's interesting. We don't actually know what Madara's unique Mangekyo ability is. All we know is what his Rinnegan ability is.
Like, he created like a Tsukuyomi.
Yeah, infinite Tsukuyomi.
So he probably does know it. I don't know. So I don't know if Shikamaru knows super Sharingan Genjutsu.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Created like a Tsukuyomi.
Yeah, infinite Tsukuyomi.
So he probably does know it. I don't know. So I don't know if Shikamaru knows super.
Well,
Sharingan Genjutsu.
technically he didn't create the infinite Tsukuyomi. It's an ability I think you get with the Rinne Sharingan. Like, you have to have that to use the infinite Tsukuyomi.
Then maybe he'd mess up Lee, because like Might Guy specifically trained to fight the Sharingan because he always fought Kakashi.
And it was like poo-poo tier, like Kakashi base Sharingan Genjutsu,
he trained
right?
to stare at Kakashi's feet like while they fought.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rock Lee's ever trained that. I don't think it's ever implied.
So since we're already doing hypotheticals, and we're just kind of, this is already pretty stupid.
The video.
I do feel like it's fair to throw something else in there. I feel like it would make sense, given how much of a rival Guy is with Kakashi.
That Guy would teach him.
Guy probably taught Lee not to fight Kakashi, because like if I was saying that would be stupid, but to fight Sasuke.
That's possible.
Because he was probably thinking, okay, Lee versus Sasuke is gonna be the big match at the Chunin exams. You know, fuck Neji. Neji ain't shit. Also,
Well, is this an actual thing that's being sold? Like this right here? Like, okay, why? Come on, that's just cruel.
Neji ain't shit. Also, Lee's gonna fight Sasuke and take
Sasuke won up to Lee or whatever at the Chunin exams, and like.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta keep the volume low because again, music.
Pities Lee. He always feels bad, so he tries to train him to beat these geniuses. So maybe he was like, this is total headcanon, but I could totally imagine him like just being like, "Don't worry, I'll teach you how to beat the Sharingan or something."
Well, like you could see, like Guy was actually like mad.
Yeah.
Like Kakashi, like you know, like he's talking to Kakashi, and like Sasuke's moving that fast, and then like Guy's like, "How do you do that?" And Kakashi's like, "Yeah, I taught I taught him, and he used the Sharingan to like copy Lee's speed." And Guy's like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah, so it's believable. It's believable. So maybe there is no genjutsu argument, but
But then, like, you know, Lee's looking at Shikamaru's feet, and all of a sudden, you know, he's not able to see that Shikamaru's Mangekyo activates, and bam, he shoots a Matarasu at Lee. Maybe you could argue that, right? But, well, actually, this staring at the feet thing is extremely... is extremely relevant, because with a Byakugan, Lee would actually be able to see Shikamaru's chakra flow up
into his
towards
eyes.
his eye.
Yeah, like Obito did
Yeah,
that as
so
well.
he would...
Mm-hmm.
Could see that in Sasuke, so.
Yeah, he could see Sasuke was collecting chakra in his eye, and then immediately knew what was coming next.
So, like, if Shikamaru has, like, perfect Susanoo,
I mean,
like,
that's
you know,
stupid. Like, that's just, like,
Yeah.
not a debate.
then I guess he, like, he takes it pretty,
Yeah, GG.
pretty
He has
concretely.
the EMS,
What?
perfect Susanoo, Yeah, he probably wins.
Technically, you don't need EMS, because Kakashi did it with a
True.
regular Mangekyo.
Although it was 6 paths. He has, like,
Well,
6
that was,
paths.
yeah, he was enhanced by 6 pass, so Kakashi's like an outlier. You can't really use him to sort of... what am I trying to say? You can't really use him, or that version of Kakashi, to compare to other Sharingan users.
Those 6
Yeah,
pairs.
he has 6 paths chakra. We can do that. Let's just say he has it anyway. Yeah.
Well, and I guess Shikamaru probably wins.
Shikamaru and Susanoo
Wha-
is so goofy. Dude, does he have like a giant Susanoo like area of effect shadow possession? Like, how does it work? Like, you're standing in the shadow.
Does
of
like
Susanoo.
Susanoo have like a whip that like immobilizes people? Like, I don't know. Is it like...
Maybe it'd be interesting. I don't know. But yeah,
Or is this like Sharingan power? He like looks at you and you can't move.
but if Rock Lee had the Tensaigon though, he'd probably.
Well, yeah, see, like if we give Shikamaru like these kind, man, this video is...
could eventually maybe perhaps awaken the Renegon.
I'm pretty sure if Lee has the Tenseigan, the Rinnegan here is irrelevant. Like Shikamaru would need the Rinne Sharingan.
Yep.
Wait, no, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, the Tensaigon is like a 6 paths kind of level
Yep.
like threat.
but so is the Renegon. I mean, the Renegon is just
Only use KCM Sage Mode against Tensaigon.
because, I mean, the Renegon is technically a 6 paths enhanced Sharingan, so it would be a good match against.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was
What is-
6 paths enhanced still though.
Yeah, because this is Naruto after he got enhanced by a 6 paths chakra, so he can't really
Yeah, like there's gonna be somebody in the comments like, can you actually prove that Toneri is not Hashirama level?
Oh god.
Jesus.
Planet at Earth or the moon at Earth
Yeah.
or destroy it. Like, yes, dude, I can see Madara doing that. I see Madara just
Mhm.
throwing the moon at Earth.
Yeah, the meteor was like roughly the size of the moon. You know.
It blotted out the sky. Yeah. They're definitely men. Dude, and remember Nagato when he had the Renegon? Like, holy
Yeah.
shit, dude. He was like, dude, Nagato would definitely fight Toneri, I think.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like,
Nagato
the
would win.
Renegon Madara had.
Yeah, no, the Nagato
He
that got his
created-
legs blown up by
he says
paper
he created
bombs
the-
would beat Toneri. I agree.
Yeah, he'd beat Lee with the Tensaigon. Damn. I think
So I
Nagato's
think
a great example of, like,
Yeah.
what it would do.
So I think really,
Nagato.
basically every time you try to give Shikamaru any bit of ground here, you have to give Lee some too. And when you do, Lee just catches back up and stomps.
Yeah.
Eventually,
like-
it just
okay, I feel
becomes like. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think Lee, with the scaling to the game, just seems like he'd be more powerful at the end. Like, even with Shikamaru with the Sharingan,
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Nagato was given the Renegon, and yes, he became like super powerful, but like he's not like he'd be relevant in the war arc, sure, but like we're just giving Shikamaru a Sharingan. You know, like just the normal Sharingan, let alone Madara Uchiha's Renegon. You know, like so it's quite the big gap. I mean, so just imagine Nagato when you think about that, and it's just like it's not that huge of an increase for Shikamaru unless you like give him crazy Mangekyo, Susanoo amps and stuff like that. But.
Well, like the only reason Nagato was even able to like have them was because he was like an Uzumaki who have like god tier stamina and constitution.
And like, even then, like.
Well, that's because they are kind of related to the they're related to the Senju, so, and the Senju of course descended from Ashura, who was born with the sage's body, so
if you're picking like
oh my god, the power almost drove me insane, I can only have one.
Yeah, like keep in mind, like Obito's not like he's not like a bitch, right? He's got some pretty crazy durability feats, you know, like having all the Biju ripped out of him. And like getting like stabbed in multiple like vital areas.
Had his heart ripped out.
Throat. Yeah, heart ripped out, throat cut open, Biju extracted, and it's like he still lived through the whole thing until he was ready to fucking die to Kaguya. That's what it
literally turned
so.
him into a pile of ash, like.
Yeah, and like so like.
Well, the only reason why he survived the Biju being ripped out of him is because he still had the Ghetto Mazo inside of him, which, according to Kurama, has a lot of life force on its own, so he was able to sustain him.
Can't handle 2 Renegon.
Shikamaru is gonna handle it, bro. I don't know. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. Like, we don't really.
This is not the angle people wanted. People wanted like you know the song that like where it's like do 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 do, and then you have like the flute, you know, the one that they use in part 1. Yeah, that one. People wanted like that music playing in the
like
background.
That kind of vibe,
about, like the strategy and you know,
there's
like, like how would Shikamaru approach the puzzle that is Rock Lee with a Byakugan? How would he use his new tools? But like Lee would just kick him in the face.
Yeah, it's
part 1, like,
especially if we're talking about Lee with the gates, like Shikamaru wouldn't be able to do anything. Like even like his Sharingan just wouldn't be advanced enough to be able to track his movements.
His only real dub is he fights like Kin from the Sound Village, and he like has her hit her head against a wall and it knocks her out. Like, do you think Rock Lee is getting out like that? Like, do you think he's doing? He's doing Rock Lee like that, man? Like, it's just. Shikamaru's my boy, and he does some cool stuff, but he's
the GOAT, yeah. Like we like
Shikamaru is awesome. He is an awesome character.
Yeah, but it's just like he's just not like that.
No.
He's not like that, so unfortunate. Boruto, I don't give a fuck.
Who cares?
Well, what do you mean, Boruto? Scaling so interesting.
Very fun.
Cool.
Shikamaru shadow possessed all of the Kage. He wins. Okay. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to sub to the boy Swag Bob, and he'll be in the description. And have a good one. Bye bye.
Yeah, that's the. Oh, is there more?
Impeccable video.
All right. So yeah, there's the video. So yeah, that was well, that was something. But yeah, it's you got to admit, like, as cool as it would be to see Shikamaru with the Renegon, I feel like Lee with the Byakugan would still kind of come out on top, because I mean, again, it's Lee just, I feel like, has too many, like, just has too many physical advantages over Shikamaru. Like, Shikamaru does have, like, he obviously has the intelligence, of course, but what would be the point if he wouldn't be able to, like, keep up with him? Because that's Lee's whole thing. Like, he trains his body in taijutsu, he pushes himself constantly, and he just, I think that it would be too much for Shikamaru. I mean, again, if you scale him up to certain characters, he might stand a chance. But if we're just talking regular Shikamaru, the same Shikamaru we saw in part 1, part 2, and part 2, I guess technically you could call it part 3, Boruto, it's just I don't think that he would be able to do anything even with the Sharingan. And again, if we're just talking like 3-to-1 Sharingan, I think you know, Mangekyo EMS Rinnegan would definitely give him power up. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that Shikamaru will be able to handle the power of the Rinnegan, because they brought it up. Like even Obito, who half of his body was like made up of Hashirama Senju's DNA, or at least I guess you could say a variation of it, and he still could barely handle the power of one Rinnegan. So it's like, yeah, I don't think he would be able to handle the power of two Rinnegans. I don't think he'd be able to. So yeah, and they even brought up like the only reason why Nagato was able to do it because he's, you know, an Uzumaki, which are related to the Senju. The Senju, of course, being descendants of the Sage of Six Paths. So yeah, you can make an exception for him. Anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any recommendations, like I said, let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I hope I see you guys for my next video. Bye for now.